this is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Folks, there is no other way to say this. I am too old for this. They say in your career, never go backwards. But it may have to come down to doing this show, this program you're listening to right now, at least one day a week from City Hall in New York City to keep a close eye on this mayor. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me live, 800-848-9222. I don't want to return to the days of arguing with mayors of New York City, but somebody in the media has got to hold Mamdani responsible and accountable. It's not happening right now. The men who brought the explosives to New York City in terms of the protest said they were inspired by ISIS, according to federal authorities. So, Dominic, what are you talking about? Mamdani is not even facing basic questions. So, for example, just right off the top of my head, I haven't had time to prepare these questions, but Mr. Mayor, I note with great interest you referred to one side of Saturday's protest as being organized by a white supremacist. But you have not condemned, Mr. Mayor, the two men accused of bringing the weapons of mass destruction. Another question. Mr. Mayor, after your wife, then a private citizen, liked on social media those comments doubting whether women were actually raped by Hamas October 7th, Mr. Mayor, have you told your wife that her actions were highly inappropriate? Mr. Mayor, should your wife apologize to the city of New York? Mr. Mayor, as mayor, what would you say now if one of those women that was raped in Israel was in front of you right now? Mr. Mayor, what do you think your wife would say, woman to woman? Would she apologize to that woman? These are all very basic questions. I don't know what they're putting in the water to make today's journalists. What happens when you're part of the City Hall press corps? You become enamored, if you will, if you're not strong, by the person that you're covering, because they become larger than life, the mayor. But you're not there to kiss Mamdani's you-know-what. You're there on behalf of the people of this city and the country to hold the mayor accountable. Why are you not doing your job? You're asking him all these bubblegum softball questions. Even when you ask him a tough question, you frame it in a way where you give him an out. I may have to do this show one day a week from City Hall. Somebody has got to hold Mamdani accountable. The police commissioner with the mayor at a news conference this morning.
I can confirm this morning that this is being investigated as an act of ISIS-inspired terrorism. I can also provide some additional information building on my remarks from Saturday evening. At that time, we were beginning to conduct preliminary analysis of two devices that were ignited and deployed earlier that day, one in a crosswalk on East End Avenue and East 87th Street, and the other on the west side of East End Avenue between East 86th and East 87th Streets. That testing was performed by the NYPD's bomb squad and FBI special agent bomb technicians in consultation with an FBI chemist. Preliminary test results determined that these were not hoax devices nor smoke bombs. They were improvised explosive devices that could have caused serious injury or death. Part of our initial investigation was to determine what energetic substance, if any, was used in the two devices, and our analysis showed that one of the devices deployed by the subjects contained the substance triacetone triperoxide, known as TATP. Now, TATP is a dangerous and highly volatile homemade explosive that has been used in IED attacks around the world. Our bomb squad then rendered safe both devices.
I may have to go back to City Hall, and I don't want to do it. I may have to go back at least one day a week. Nobody is holding this mayor accountable. This from CBS News.
ISIS-inspired terrorism. That is what the New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch just said here in front of Gracie Mansion, the official residence of Mayor Zohran Mamdani. She was talking about an incident involving two people who had explosive devices in front of the residence at a protest on Saturday. More information is expected to come this afternoon from a complaint, but they were very clear this was not a hoax. They said these devices could have seriously injured or even caused death. Officials say the devices contain triacetone triperoxide, also known as TATP, and said is a homemade explosive that's used worldwide. New York City has been on a heightened state of alert since the conflict in Iran.
And so the name Nick Shirley, remember that name? He's the young man who frankly is a much better journalist right now than the entire New York City Hall press corps. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They're not asking Mamdani anything. How do you let his wife like these social media comments and you let him make a basic statement about that's the love of my life and you let him get away with it? And that's the end of the story. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? And you call that reporting? Wow. Nick Shirley, the guy that exposed all the corruption in Minnesota. Well, guess where he happens to be right now? In New York City, down at Canal Street, where they sell all of that counterfeit goods and services and so on. Even Nick Shirley is talking about the double standard from this mayor.
So today here in New York City, the mayor Zohran Mamdani called protester Jake Lang a white supremacist, but he failed to mention that the two men who threw literal bombs at him are two Muslims, and he didn't even call them terrorists. He actually didn't even condemn that. But meanwhile, here in New York City, you also have all these people. This is the famous Canal Street. And look, now they start freaking out because I put a camera on their face. But they sell all this stuff, counterfeit goods. Meanwhile, all this madness is happening here in New York City. Nothing ever gets solved. They let criminals do whatever. Whether you say this is criminal or not, it is. They're selling fraudulent goods, not paying taxes on it. Meanwhile, you're working hard right now. But these guys are able to make loads of cash.
And so that's Nick Shirley from down at Canal Street. So Mamdani at the news conference, here's a bit of what the mayor had to say today.
Many of the counter-protesters met this display of bigotry peacefully, with a vision of a city that is welcoming to all. But a few did not. Two men, Amir Balat and Ibrahim Qayyumi, traveled from Pennsylvania and attempted to bring violence to New York City. They are suspected of coming here to commit an act of terrorism.
But, Mr. Mayor, why are you not condemning this? Why? You point to white supremacy with the first guy, but you don't say, it's like poof, it doesn't exist. Here's more of the mayor.
I'm the first Muslim mayor of our city. Anti-Muslim bigotry is nothing new to me, nor is it anything new for the 1 million or so Muslim New Yorkers who know this city as our home. While I found this protest appalling, I will not waver in my belief that it should be allowed to happen. Ours is a free society where the right to peaceful protest is sacred. It does not belong only to those we agree with. It belongs to everyone.
This mayor, there's no other way to say this, is disgusting. He keeps talking about white supremacy and the fact that the alleged white supremacist, the Jake guy, was the one that came to Gracie Mansion with the news conference. Okay, fine. But why are you not condemning the guys that came with the bombs? Why is that, Mr. Mayor? 800-848-9222. Let's go to John, line 4 in the Bronx. What's on your mind, John?
Hey, Dominic, I really hope you do get that front seat at City Hall when the mayor does give his press conference. It'd be refreshing to see somebody with balls and ask some great questions. I hope you get it.
Well, it's not a matter of if I get it. If management decides to send me back, I'm going back. And I had the front seat when I was there years ago. So nothing would change now. It's just that I am terribly frustrated that they're letting this guy get away with murder. It's like they're the press corps. It's like they're cheerleaders of Mamdani. Listen, Rudy Giuliani, we used to go to war every day. And we're good friends now. To his credit, he took the questions. Mamdani is not being asked nothing. It's almost like Prince. How do you grace us today? And John, thank you for the great call. Let's go to, I'm going to regret this, but let's go to Marco in New Jersey, line 5. Marco, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to say first thing, I am not a Trumper because I stopped from 2016. I didn't vote for him again, and that's it. I'll never vote again. But my question is, why you're complaining about what Zandari's wife said, but Melania never said anything about the rape victims of Jeffrey.
Okay, do me a favor. We can focus on your second point. Focus on the wife for a second. Should she be condemned? Focus on that for a second.
Yeah, of course. If she said what she said, yeah, that's wrong.
No, not said what she said. She reliked comments on social media. Should Mamdani apologize for his wife?
Should Trump apologize for
No. Answer my question and then we'll go on. Should Mamdani apologize for the despicable actions of his wife?
No.
You're done.
Dominic is done with you.
Let's see here. Let's go to Elena, line 4, Staten Island. Elena, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. It's a pleasure to talk with you. Dominic, I have a question. What happened to our great city, Dominic? How did this mayor get elected into our city?
I'm not going to answer that today, Elena. You already know how he got elected. The person that got him elected is mighty quiet these days, has nothing to say. This person sold out the entire city of New York because that's how big his ego is. I'm not going to answer that, and he was never qualified to be mayor of New York. And so he threw the election to Mamdani as giving a big middle finger to the rest of us. And that's exactly what happened. Elena, I got to toss to a break. Thank you for the wonderful call. So here's what's coming up, folks. We see your calls coming in. When we come back, we're going to focus on Women's History Month. One of the greatest women I know happens to be the owner of this station, Margot Katzimatidis. We're going to focus on that. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to divert away for a few minutes from this to focus on boxing. A remarkable boxer by the name of Bobby Ches, who's in the fight of his life against cancer, a world champion who fought against Evander Holyfield. But we're going to stay on this topic predominantly. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in healthcare informatics, digital marketing and analytics, business analytics, or financial analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It is Women's History Month, and one of the owners of this station, of this network, Margot Katzimatidis, being honored for all that she does for so many, myself included, for the children of New York City, for the elderly. She just gives and gives and gives. The turkey giveaways. I could go on and on and on. She appeared the other day with my colleague Greg Kelly on his show, and she was asked, in particular, that is Mrs. Katzimatidis, a question about advice that she gives to women.
All right, Margot, when you meet a young woman, say right out of high school, And let's say maybe she goes to college, maybe she doesn't go to college, what is your advice? What is your advice to young women as they enter either further schooling or academia, as they enter adulthood, I should say?
You have to always believe in yourself. You have to follow your dreams. If you're not quite clear, God gives you a message that you can take the road to the right, the road in the middle, or the road in the left. You have to use your own intuition to follow that road to see if that is meant for you. And at that stage, you're young enough to switch lanes if you want to. But always believe in yourself that you can accomplish anything and learn anything. So never be afraid.
I love the advice for anybody, whether they're young or old. By the way, were you the youngest person to be asked to join the Bolshoi?
Yes, I was
ballet?
Actually 11 and a half years old.
How does that work? Well, how did that happen?
It was pretty cool.
The Bolshoi, those guys are from Russia. They're the best dancers in the world.
Yeah, it's the first time they came to America. And my sister and I were in the audition with 100 other kids. But they chose me and my sister. And I will never forget that performance. I was right in the very front because I was the smallest.
Yeah.
And I will never forget that evening. It was spectacular.
And so many of you ask me about my career, particularly here in radio. The voice you just heard, Margot Katzimatidis, she is the reason why I'm here. Of course, along with support from her husband, but she has been by far the biggest backer of my career. You've got a person out there claiming that he's the reason why I'm successful, which is laughable, absolutely laughable. The voice you just heard, Margot Katzimatidis, that's why I'm successful, because she's the one that believed in me and predicted that I would be successful and gave me the shot. Women's History Month. Let's go to line one. Robin in Brooklyn. Robin, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. How are you?
Hi, Robin. I'm well. What's going on?
You know, Hochul is the blame for why New York City is going to go this way. Who put her there? I don't know who put her there, but she put Mandani, and Mandani is not the one who needs to be running New York City, and we all know this.
Well, it's too late, Robin. And Mr. Free, you can't even, if he gets his way, you won't even be able to park for free in New York City anymore. He wants to charge you for that. Straight up con. Told you one thing during the campaign, a classic bait and switch. Now you see the real person. Go ahead, Robin.
They thought by bringing Mandani to the table, he was the hope. This is how the Democrats were thinking. We're going to bring him, and he's going to save us, and he's going to do this. No, he's not. When that snowstorm came about in New York City, it was a disaster here in Brooklyn. I can tell you the amount of areas that was not cleaned up. Manhattan's going to always be clean.
No, it wasn't clean. Robin, I got to toss to a break. Thank you so much for the call. It wasn't clean. This is New York. When we come back, we'll continue on Mamdani, but also a boxer in New Jersey in the biggest fight of his life against cancer.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I am looking at a tweet from a colleague of mine, Jake Novak, and Jake says, and I'm quoting here verbatim from Twitter, from X, I miss the days when people like my friend at Dominic TV would give mayors and their spokespeople hell at news conferences, and he was not alone. The softballs and outright planted questions, and that's what they are, being asked of Mamdani are a First Amendment scandal and an embarrassment to the city. Jake, you are so correct. I am telling you, Mayor Mamdani, your free ride is just about up. I may have to do this show one day a week from City Hall, and I promise you that you will get real questions that you have no idea how to handle. I'm warning you, Mr. Mayor. Stop running the okie doke on the city of New York. You can impress these young, naive reporters. There is nothing you can do. Nothing in your power to impress me. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. I'm going to switch gears for a couple of minutes. We see all of your calls on Mom Donnie and Mom Donnie's wife, and talk boxing for a minute. But this is not a story about boxing. It's a human interest story about a remarkable man by the name of Bobby Ches. Now, he's a boxer that won in several different weight classes, meaning world champion at several different weight classes, right? They have this society, I think it's called Mensa. It's the smartest 2% of people on the planet, not just America. He's a member of Mensa. Now, this is a boxer, right? Now, he's in the battle of his life, a battle against cancer right now. He's from our area, the Nutley, New Jersey area, and his biggest fight was against Evander Holyfield, right? But there's not as much money in boxing as people think, because his purse for that fight was only about, I think he said $315,000. But he did not want to go into boxing initially. His father, who he describes as brutal, gave him and his brothers no choice as kids, demanded that they study boxing with predominantly black fighters in Paterson, New Jersey. Now, Bobby Ches happens to be white, but he proudly says that he fights like an African-American fighter. So the first sound you're about to hear is from his fight against Evander Holyfield, who Holyfield's next fight will be against Mike Tyson. And then you'll hear part of the interview between myself and the legendary Bobby Ches.
Holyfield has never been in a fight that wasn't exciting.
Watch your heads. And this one is starting to get a little bit more exciting than Evander would like it to be. He backs Ches up into the ropes again. Evander's been very effective when Bobby Ches has been pinned against the ropes.
It sounds like part of you didn't want to do it.
Not that I didn't want to do it. It's that I didn't want to be told what I had to do. I wanted to choose for myself. At the same time, when I was 15, when my father said, he told my brothers, you can stop boxing. Told me you can stop boxing now. You're done. I said no. I said I have a future here. I'm going to continue. So he gave me the green light to stop, and I didn't want to stop.
But it paid off.
Big time.
Did you know you were going to be a champion?
Tell you a funny story. I started boxing in the gym September of 1972. I was 10. The following February the 10th, I would be 11. The first time I sparred was February the 9th. The day before I turned 11. I sparred with a kid who's about 20 pounds heavier than me. Back then I weighed about 80 pounds. I was like, no, I was not a big guy. And I beat him silly. And my trainer in the gym got upset because my father was training me and he trained the other kid. And I beat the other kid up, beat him silly. So he took him out and put another kid in who was 2 years older than me, only 10 pounds heavier than me, but he had won the Junior Olympics twice. And I looked at my father petrified, and he said, do what you do, son. Do it. And the next 3 minutes it was almost like a blur. I couldn't even, but at the end of the round, I got a standing ovation from everybody in the gym. Everybody in the gym gave me a standing ovation. That day, I knew I was special. That day, I believed I would be a world champion someday. And I even predicted it would take me 14 years to win the world title. And September 6, 1986, at the age of 24, 14 years later, I won my first world title.
So when I say the name Mike Tyson, what comes to your mind?
First thing that comes to my mind is he's a great fighter, but he's also a good friend. We're pretty close, and we spend some time together when we can. He's a great fighter, and people don't give him enough credit, but it's one of those things where you have to be in his shoes and understand all the pressures that are on him too, not just the public appearances and all this and everything, but even the fighting. Everybody wants to start trouble with him just to get a lawsuit in. That's really, really sad. Mike's a great guy though.
Boxing can also be brutal.
No doubt about that.
I'm talking about the financial aspect,
Yep.
right? You're also dealing with some health issues, right?
Oh, right now? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. I had
battling cancer?
I had been operated on October the 15th of 2024 with cancer in my nose and my neck. It's called squamous cell carcinoma, head and neck cancer. But it's just another fight I got to win. I ain't worried about it.
That's the way you look at it. It's just
So
another
it's just
fight.
another fight I got to win, and I will.
Because you're used to being the underdog.
All the time. All the time.
Now, did you have to adhere to the rules of boxers can't get into a fight on the street because your hands literally are a deadly weapon?
No, I've been in some street fights, and I am allowed to stand my ground. If someone comes at me, I'm allowed to stand my ground and respond. But once he goes down, and they always do, I'm not allowed to do anything else. I got to stop right there.
So you've had some guys that start with you, they didn't know who you were.
No, I had guys start with me because they knew who I was.
Oh, wow. They want to challenge you.
Well, most of them were like 6'2", 6'3", and 215, 220 pounds. At the time, I was 175 pounds, only 5'10". I'm still 5'10", but I weigh a little more. They just thought one of the guys came at me with his friend, and I hit him first because he was the biggest. And he went down, and I stood over him screaming at him. Excuse me. And he said, Bobby, he knew who you were. He said he just didn't think you could hit that hard. He said, you see how stupid he is? Well, I always tell people all the time, genius has its limits, but stupidity knows no bounds.
Wow. So before I wrap this up, what do you think about President Trump and politics in our country?
I think he's doing the right thing by the country. I really do. And he's doing the right thing because he doesn't need the money. He's got $4 billion. He don't need the money.
He surely doesn't.
He does not need the money. And he's working his ass off. Literally hours and hours and hours a day, more than most people could imagine. And I've read some things, some research that I've done in the background. Some of the stuff he's doing is remarkable. And will change our country forever. For the better.
And that's legendary boxer Bobby Chez, a world champion who happens to be white, grew up training with African-American fighters, won world championships in several different weight classes. He's in the battle of his life right now, facing head and neck cancer, but he's one of the nicest guys you could ever meet. Dominic Carter here with you. Let's get back to Mom Donnie. Oh, what's going on in this world today? Let's go to line 4, Liz in Florida. Liz, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. So I'm going to just say, I'm going to talk about Mom Donnie. I don't know why I don't know why everyone is awaiting for an apology or for him to condemn anything. His agenda is clear, anti-everything except Islam, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, terrorists, the massacre on October 7th, and no one should be surprised at his actions or his wife's actions. And as long as she's married to him, she's part of the politics. You know, she has the title First Lady of the State, so she's in it, period. So,
go ahead, Liz, go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say we should be sending comments on social media for everyone to see and just bombard with comments about him and his wife.
But it's wicked, Liz. It's wicked what he did. And this is just the beginning. As I said, as I predicted, there's going to be a lot more about the wife. There's a reason why they kept her away from the campaign. This guy, I don't know what to say anymore. How do you condemn, okay, fine, a white supremacist, leading one group at the protest, but you've got people coming with pipe bombs and you say zip about them. How is that, Liz?
Listen, without evil in this world, there can't be good. And good always outweighs evil. And if more people had a fear of God, perhaps there would be more love and kindness in this world. So that's my comment. And I don't want to take more time away from everyone else that wants to talk about it.
Well, thank you, Liz. Thank you for being so considerate. Let's go to line 1. Mary Beth, Long Island. Mary Beth, what's on your mind?
I just wanted to say something about Margot Katsimatidis, and she has good taste, first of all. She was pushing you up for the job, great. Secondly, I heard her, a comment that she made, and I heard this several years ago, and it was on this station, and I don't remember if I heard her say it or someone reporting what she said, but I think she said it. She said, every morning when I get up, I ask myself what I can do to help another person. And I thought, what a beautiful woman she is. And we all need to ask ourselves that.
You know, Mary Beth, this sounds like, oh, Dominic's going to say nice things because he works for them. No. Anybody that knows me knows I'm going to tell you the truth. The quote that you're just attributing to Mrs. Katsimatidis, that's the type of person that she is. Her and her husband, they employ, including myself, of course, thousands of people, and they're expanding, but that's exactly the type of person, that she is. And I say this all the time out of total, admiration. I've never met anybody in my life that works as hard, and this includes Bloomberg, that works as hard, as she, and it includes Rudy Giuliani. That includes her and her husband. I don't know anybody that works as hard as they do. She's always around here at the station, doing something. I mean, literally picking up boxes. And I know you're going to say, well, everybody picks up boxes. But let's be real, Mary Beth. How many billionaires you know are picking up boxes? They delegate well to others. She doesn't do that. She doesn't do anything that she's not willing to do herself. The lady's the real deal. Mary Beth, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Judith, line 2 in Brooklyn. Judith, what's on your mind?
Hi, thanks for taking my call. Well, two things. First of all, I really wish that the October 7 Israeli women victims of rape and sheer horror should hold a press conference right in front of Gracie Mansion, Dominic.
Not a bad idea.
And call out this terrorist sympathizer, Mrs. Mamdani, and demand an apology for her liking what happened and even denying what happened. And I want to tell you, because it's Women's Month this week, I want to pay tribute to someone who happens to be a fan of yours, a Dominic fan. And because I thought to myself, I don't know, I think I'm just going to search among the radio family. To me, anyone who calls the radio is my radio family. I have a special heart in my place, a special place in my heart for radio family. And by the way, Mike, I hope you're doing well on the heart surgery. Back to the tribute. The woman that I want to pay tribute to, who's your fan,
never mind that Judith. She cooks. I got to toss to a break. Go ahead.
Never mind that she cooks. Never mind that she's smart. But I was blown away when she reached out and supported Shore Girl, right? Shore Girl. And this is Debbie Lovato. I mean, that is above and beyond, and I was overwhelmed with her. So
yeah, she's a remarkable woman. She really is. And thank you for that, Judith. Debbie Lovato, Staten Island, a remarkable woman. The type of woman that should be acknowledged in Women's History Month. This is a lady that is holding it down. Debbie Lovato. Folks, it is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day. It's real simple, folks. And I am telling you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Mamdani, with all due respect, your free ride is about up. I am not going to continue to stand here and watch you just totally smile and bat your eyes at the City Hall press corps, and like little seals, they just clap at everything that you say and never ask you a challenging question. I am getting sick and tired of it, and I am telling you, Mr. Mayor, I'm about to come back down to City Hall, and I can assure you I will be your worst nightmare, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, we'll see what happens. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Grace, line 5, Westchester. Grace, what's on your mind?
Hi, good afternoon. I really enjoy your show. I don't usually call, but on this particular topic, I wanted to just send out a message to Bobby Ches.
Oh, that's nice.
Long-time boxing fan. I remember him. In 1998, my husband was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma. It's a very misunderstood cancer. It's one that starts someplace and then travels to your neck and head. So chances are he's in the same boat. We stuck with it. My husband went through surgery, radiation, the whole 9 yards, came out of it, lived many, many years, died from something completely different many years later. But I just want to send out a prayer and a message of hope to Bobby that he can do it. If anybody can, he can. That's it.
Right. And Grace, thank you for that. I'm sure that your words will reach him. He is a remarkable person. And, you know, to live the life that he's lived, fighting Evander Holyfield and so on. And I found it very interesting. He said that Evander didn't hit as hard as he thought. Now, I don't know if he would have said the same thing against Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson can hit extremely hard. Grace, thank you for the call. I'm sure that Bobby Ches will appreciate that. Let's go to Alex, Greenwich, Connecticut. Greenwich, Connecticut. Line 1. Alex, what's on your mind?
Thank you, Dominic. I love your show.
Thank you. Very kind of you to say. What's going on?
Okay, I just want to go back to October 7th. I'm born and bred in this country, but I have family from Iran originally. I have a ton of family in greater Tel Aviv. One thing that everybody forgot to mention, other than murdering and raping those victims on October 7th of 2023, there were a couple instances where they were opening the stomach, ripping out the child out of the woman's womb. Let's see how Mrs. Mamdani reacts to that. To me, that's worse than murder.
Right. Well, she liked comments that said that those things never happened. Alex, thank you for that call. I know I'm going to regret this because he's going to argue just the opposite. Let's go to Russ, line 4, White Plains. Russ, what's going on?
Dominic, remember the incubators in Kuwait that Saddam's troops dumped the babies out of? Never happened. As a legitimate journalist, Dominic, what is your source? What is your evidence for these multiple rapes which are being used to deflect from the U.S. blasting schoolgirls?
So Russ, women haven't come back pregnant with their claims that they were raped repeatedly by these savage animals of Hamas. You haven't heard stories of that, Russ?
Oh, I've heard stories and rumors. What's your source?
Okay, well, no. Wait. So the baby is not there, right? The baby's not there. Russ, why do you always hate on other people? Why?
I'll tell you why. Because occupation armies rape. Common sense tells you if a running battle
Dominic is done with you.
Let's go to line 4. John in Verona, New Jersey. John, what's on your mind? John, are you there? Okay, no, John. Let's go to line 2. Gene in the Bronx. Gene, what's on your mind?
Yeah, hi, Dominic. You have a great show. This is great experience even contacting you. This is my general question. Can anything be done to eliminate this mayor, to get him out? Is there any?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
The only person that could do it is the governor of the state. She's up for re-election. She does not want to awaken the sleeping giant of the people that support Mamdani, because if she goes against Mamdani, she's basically cutting her own throat politically. So we're stuck with this guy. There's only one person to blame for this, another candidate that was in the race for mayor that is as quiet as can be. He put us in this position. Folks, support T2T.org.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
At Manhattan University, a graduate degree is not out of reach. You'll gain real-world skills, credentials employers value, and connections to New York City's top companies. Choose from their new Master of Science degrees in healthcare informatics, digital marketing and analytics, business analytics, or financial analytics, all built around hands-on learning and industry partnerships. Graduate ready to lead, not just work. Take the next step at manhattan.edu/graduate. Manhattan University. Lead the future.